close, must be close. That is brilliant. The carry, it does carry. God, ran out of patience.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Midwicket Show right here on Guile South. My name is Daryl Williams.
And I'm Darren Ramcharter.
And we are here to bring you an in-depth and in-detail roundup of all things cricket. We are proudly sponsored tonight by Dee's Veggie Cuisine, Scrubs and Stuff 868, GTs, and Power Star Bats. Be sure to give those amazing sponsors a like and follow on Instagram.
Very nice. So we give you that local roundup, local, regional, international, and franchise cricket at its finest. We at the Midwicket Show remind you to follow the COVID protocols and the 3 W's. Wear your mask, wash your hands, and watch your distance. And of course, if you can, please get vaccinated, all in an effort to reduce the spread of the COVID-19 virus. Well, Daryl, there's been a lot of cricket that's been taking place. And
Indeed.
where should we start?
I guess we should start at home. We start our local boys. The disappointment that we have been facing as West Indians fans in the recent weeks. Let's start at home.
Let's start at home. So we'll start at the Darren Sammy National Stadium in St. Lucia, the 9th to the 11th. What should have been 5 days of cricket ended promptly on the 4th morning of the game, or was it the 3rd morning?
3rd morning.
Craig Brathwaite, the captain, choosing to bowl first. Actually, no, he chose to bat first.
Bat first.
And we scored 97 all out on that surface. 15 apiece to himself and Shea Hope, and 20 from Jason Holder. 97 all out. In response, South Africa, 322 all out. Quinton de Kock, of course, coming in with 141. Aiden Markram, 60. And Rassie van der Dussen, 46. In response, West Indies, 162 all out. And we lost by an innings and 63 runs. In the
I think to start with, that was a tough pill to swallow. I mean, there are some highlights that we should definitely take mention of. The application of Jason Holder a little bit down to the end of the order. There's no way in international cricket that 97 will be a commendable performance at all. But given the fact that the way that wicket played on the opening morning of a test match with a top-class bowling lineup in Kasuri Rabada, Ngidi, and Nokia, I think that that in itself is a big bite of the cherry that in dealing with the poor performance.
I agree. To put it in the words of Sir Curtly Ambrose, it was woeful and pathetic what he saw in that first test. I didn't get what he said after the second test, but we'll get there shortly. Really good bowling by South Africa. I thought the West Indies would have done well with the ball. I guess apart from Quinton de Kock and Markram, nobody really held them up, so to speak. But when you make a score like 97, it's hard to come back in the game.
But as you're on the topic of bowling, let us not forget the Wonder Kid, as he's commonly referred to as now, Jaden Seals, making his debut and grabbing 3 on debut. That was a terrific performance for him. We at the Midwicket Show had incited his inclusion in the final playing 11. So we say kudos to our analysis and team here for giving that one out of the bag. What are your thoughts? I think over the test series there, we saw the likes of the great Sir Curtly Ambrose, Ian Bishop, some very good names in the fast bowling department, commending the youngster on his smooth run up on his transition through the crease, as well as the comparison to Kesodi Rabada.
Yes, that's true. We saw at just before the play started, Young Seals receiving his test cap from Kirtley Ambrose, and he was well informed by Ambrose that he would be representing the Caribbean. And it was so good because it's been a while since we have seen someone so exciting to come into the team, not with so much first-class cricket behind him. So it was a toss-up between himself and Alzari Joseph, and they gave the youngster the nod. Not so much experience, but he did well, 3 for 75 in that one innings that he bowled there. I thought he was pretty impressive. He pitched up the ball, he was bowling with pace, and he got the results.
Indeed.
He provided some good support to Kemar Roach, who had 2 for 64, and Jason Holder 4 for 75 coming in at the end. But very good from Seals.
Yeah, and South Africa went back into bat with a substantial lead, and they went on their foot on the accelerator to get us a good enough lead to send West Indies back. Can you run through the scorecard with that?
The South African innings?
Yeah.
Yeah, but remember, Daryl, that was one innings that they batted.
Yeah,
they
yeah,
won
an
by
innings
and
and
63
okay.
runs.
Yeah,
In our second innings,
yeah.
we were skittled out for 162, with the only score of note coming from Ross and Chase, the all-rounder. It had nothing really much to mention after him.
I think he showed a lot of application, a lot of character there. I think a lot of weight was on his shoulders coming back into the team and solidifying a place or cementing a place in this Test 11. I think kudos goes out to the young Gross, as he's commonly known as. I think he played well, and I was hoping that he will continue to grow from stride to stride in that batting performance against a quality lineup.
Yeah, I think what happened, he had a little point to prove, because from being dropped as the vice captain, from going so well to go out of the team and not even get a retainer contract, I think he had a point to prove, and he did so. Let's also mention Kieran Powell coming in as a concussion substitute for Nkrumah Bonner, who was hit on the helmet by Anrich Note. Well, I see they pronounce it Nokia.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that second test, as Daryl said, played simultaneously alongside the World Test Championship at the same ground. One change for the West Indies, bringing in Shannon Gabriel for Rakeem Cornwall, who they really didn't have much impact on the first game. This time around, Brathwaite won the toss again and decided to bowl first. So the game went a little longer this time, Daryl, but the result was the same. West Indies put South Africa into bat and they scored. Let me get it for you. 298, sorry, with Quinton de Kock again scoring 96 runs, falling just short of 100, and Dean Elgar, the opener, scoring 77. In the bowling department, Kemar Roach had 3 for 45, and Shannon Gabriel 2 for 65, and Kyle Mayers 3 for 28. In the West Indies first innings, we scored exactly half of the runs, 149 all out, with Jermaine Blackwood coming in with 49 and Shea Hope with 43. No other scores of note there. And in the South African bowling on this occasion, we have the backup bowler, Mulder, taking 3 wickets for 1 run on this occasion with 75, and Kagiso Rabada, the bowler, scoring 40 runs. So they set 324 for the West Indies to win, and we could only muster 165. Kieran Powell, the opener who returned into the team, scoring 51 runs, and Kyle Mayers, I have to call him a all-rounder now, he scored 34 runs. Ross Sanchez didn't bat on this occasion because he came up with a little injury. Kemar Roach came in with 27, and Jermaine Blackwood with 25. Another heavy defeat, losing by 158 runs.
Indeed. I mean, I know there's a lot in the reckoning. I mean, there's a lot of cricket pundits and persons around the nation and around the region that are calling for the head of Craig Brathwaite to start with. He has gone 9 test matches without a substantial or significant score. There are some positives that I will definitely like to take out of the second test, where it is that, one for the reckoning, or some good news, or some historic moments happen silently there, that it has been more than 12 years that Trinidad and Tobago as a country has had 2 opening fast bowlers bowl for the West Indies. The last in Jaden Seales and Shannon Gabriel. The last 2 that we had was Mervyn Dillon and Marlon Black. I guess seniority played a big part here, where Shannon Gabriel came back into the squad. He doesn't look to be at full fitness, but class is class. He did develop some good pace and some good spells in between there, and he was used in short spells. Not taken away from the performance of the leader of the attack. Kemar Roach has been good. Definitely, without a doubt, his consistency is phenomenal as we go forward as a test playing nation. I would still like to see him part and parcel of the white ball squad, because I don't know whatever happened to his Kemar Roach number 24 t-shirt. I don't think he has hung that up. As you discuss our top scorer in the first innings as Jermaine Blackwood, I think that he showed a lot of character. He dig deep there a little bit. He merged his aggression, his natural game aggression, with a little bit of patience, seeing that wickets fall at a steady flow around him. And I think that I believe that a lot of work. Most importantly, you didn't mention, or I think it was a sore memory, Keshava Maharaj picking up a hat trick.
Oh my God!
Picking up a hat trick. That was I don't know. I'm lost for words. That was a very, very difficult thing to accept. And I think that heading into the 4th day,
we have to spare a thought for Young De Silva facing that hat trick.
My heart goes out. Heading into the last day, needing 300 runs, just about 300 runs on the last day, second to last day. I think there's a lot of backing for the West Indies to go well, being 15 without loss overnight, and coming and losing some wickets really early on the second morning. But I do manage to like the application of Kieran Powell coming back into the team. I was backing him to get 100. He was unable to carry on for that. He was the start of that historic hat trick later on, but wickets fall in abundance. And I think that, again, it all comes down to the class and the workload of those South African bowlers. The Proteas really put their hand up on what we as Caribbean people distinguish the Caribbean to have dead pitches. They definitely came and light up, as we will say in layman terms, light up that Darren Sammy wicket, although it has been known for bounce and a lot of carry to the keeper over the years. But I don't know. We could sit here and do a lot of analysis and a lot of thoughts that may be brought forward. But I guess it's left to Mr. Phil Simmons and his management team going forward, as in what are the changes that needs to be done. I would definitely like to see or know, or what of the players who are not on part and parcel of the white ball setup, what are they going to do? What are they going to do in the interim? Because most of them, we have 3 Trinidadians in Joshua De Silva, Jaden Seales, and Shannon Gabriel coming back into a bubble environment, staying 14 days off. There's no gyms open, there's no cricket grounds open. So I want to know, what are they going to keep their preparation entwined for the upcoming Pakistan series? As you say, in all negatives, you look for the positive. And I think that one to mention is definitely the catching, the fielding aspect of the West Indies team in these 2 test matches was really sublime. It was good stuff. Jason Holder.
As you're saying that, Jason Holder took some blinders.
Yes, I think that one-hander was one for the reckoning. I think that, he really, length and breadth there, he used his full length of his body there and getting across deep and low to his right. So there are some positives, but I think that initiatives are needed to be put in place for us as West Indian cricketers to dealing with short stuff, short pitch bowling, I would have definitely liked to see Darren Bravo come back into the squad. He's still one of our very most experienced batsmen. His average, as we always say, average and whatnot doesn't determine or defy somebody's class. And I think that he would have stand up to that with a point to prove as him being out of the team for so long. But as like I said, moving forward, the bowling looks to be in good par. We look to be troubling the batsman on a frequent enough time frame within an over and whatnot, getting the amount of good balls in that corridor of uncertainty, as we say. So, as again, I think I'll have to need a gallon of water to swallow this pill. A 2-0 to South African team who are in the same position has been rebuilding their test team alongside the new captain of Dean Elgar. He came with a good 77. But Quinton de Kock, I think that he played within his strains. And he see ball, hit ball, as we say in layman terms, and he mixed his aggression well. And I think we have a lot of players in the Caribbean who can do the same, because definitely we as a West Indian lineup, we cannot back time. So we have a lot of positives to take with. Some people may say that I am crazy to do that, but I am rallying around my West Indian troops, and we will definitely bounce back. Seeing that rallying around the West Indies team is singing in the air as we divert quickly from the red ball setup to the white ball setup. I don't know if you want to go through that squad. If you want to go through that squad for a little quick minute there, as we line up for the first T20, first of 5 T20s in Grenada.
All right.
Captain by
Let's run
Kyron
through it
Pollard.
very quickly. Kyron Pollard, the captain. Nicholas Puran, Fabian Allen, Dwayne Bravo, Sheldon Cottrell, Fidel Edwards, Andre Fletcher, Chris Gale, Shimron Hetmyer, Jason Holder, Akil Hussein, Evan Lewis, Obed McCoy, Andre Russell, Lendell Simmons, Kevin Sinclair, O'Shane Thomas, and Hayden Walsh Jr. Power packed.
As we say in cricketing terms, it's who plays the better cricket on the day is definitely not the names on paper. A jam-packed squad, a lot of experience with some youth in Kevin Sinclair and Akil Hussein. I think those two will be the fight, as well as Hayden Walsh Jr. will definitely be those that are fighting for that spinner position come the World Cup T20 later on this year. I mean, this is an experiment because within this series, there are 20 other games leading up to the World T20s. So I guess it's a little bit of shuffling and changing to see what is the right formula. But this is definitely the nucleus of the squad moving forward. We are still unaware of the availability of Sunil Narine moving forward, if he will be part and parcel of this World Cup T20 squad. But there are some very familiar names there. Another thing that will make mention there are 3 openers. We are not too sure if we'll see Christopher Henry Gale take up the opportunity to bat at number 3 behind Evan Lewis and Lendell Simmons. So the middle order is a little bit strong. We see Kyron Pollard, Nicholas Puran, Fabian Allen. There are some names there to be reckoned with without a doubt. And we can't forget the Spice Man. I know he will definitely be given a run. So I am definitely backing the West Indies to go at least 3-2 up in this series and take this series.
I will say about 4-1. I'll be even more positive.
All right, that's good stuff, man. I let's not dwell and seem a tad bit biased, spending all this time on the West Indies as we move forward to the other big talking tongue, the World Test Championship coming to an end in a rain-affected game. And finally, a winner in the Black Caps, the New Zealand, the Mace is heading to Wellington. Let us get a little update on that.
Yes, so that, of course, the first time we've seen a test match go 6 days, in theory, played at the Rose Bowl in Southampton between the 18th and the 23rd. And we have New Zealand choosing to field first, sending in India, who scored 217 runs, with Kohli scoring 44, Rahane scoring 49. In the bowling, we have Kyle Jamieson with 5 for 31, Bolt with 2 for 47, and Wagner with 2 for 40. New Zealand's turn at the crease, 249, with Devon Conway 54, and the captain Kane Williamson 49. We had Mohammed Shami with 4 for 76. Ishan Sharma, 3 for 48. Ashwin 2 for 28. At the second turn of the crease for India, 170 all out. A little bit of a surprise there. Rishabh Pandey, wicketkeeper, scoring 41, and Rohit Sharma 30. And they set, I think, a target of 139 runs, if I'm not mistaken. New Zealand got there for the loss of 2 wickets, with the 2 stalwarts of New Zealand cricket, Ross Taylor, 47 not out, and Kane Williamson, 52 not out. The 2 wickets to fall were claimed by Ravichandran Ashwin. The man of the match, Kyle Jamieson, for his all-around effort. Well deserved. Of course,
indeed, as we definitely pinpointed Kyle Jamieson of being a X-factor player. I think the game in its entirety was played in good spirits, despite the numerous interruptions. Who knows what would have happened if some history would have been made or some records would have been broken if it is that we have had the opportunity to have 5 full days of play. But I think from a perspective, or from a neutral perspective, I would definitely give Jack his jacket where it's deserved, that a result was imminent, and I really did appreciate a result happening out of this game. I definitely make mention to Kyle Jamieson's line and length. I think that this game was definitely dominated by seam bowling and conditions of swing bowling in the English counties. The Hampshire Bowl is known for the ball moving around a little bit. And man, I tell you, that was some difficult and hard lengths to bat. So I think that those 140 odd runs, 2 something, was like 2 million in cricket in terms, because it was hard going. The batsmen really had to dig deep. Devon Conway, what a surprise, and what I think he has been a real find to Test cricket, and New Zealand, I feel South Africa be licking their wounds not being able to hold on to someone of Devon Conway's class. What we have definitely see in this entirety, this is why these 2 teams have played the final, because of they were well led by their both captains in Virat Kohli and Kane Williamson. I would definitely pay mention to Kane Williamson. He made some excellent bowling changes just at the right time, not over bowling his trump card bowlers. And I think each of the 4-prong attack paid a different dividend. As we know, Neil Wagner to be the enforcer, and Chen Bull the swing bowler, and Kyle Jamieson just the gentle giant doing everything that his captain asked for. And I think one in particular moment that stood out to me was when Kane Williamson actually placed that fly sip to pick up Mohammed Shami. I think that was a defining factor in that game. And I think experience definitely went a long way. I can see why there's now that the Sunrisers Hyderabad and Tom Moody replaced David Warner with Kane Williamson for IPL, but we will get to that later on in the second half of the IPL as it concludes. So all in all, it's good to see a title heading back to New Zealand after being deemed the bridesmaid for so long and losing that hard-fought final in the 2019 50-over World Cup. I say kudos. We also see some good work behind the stumps of DJ Waltlin. He was in the history books in this World Test Championship for the wrong reason, receiving a Jaffa from Mohammed Shami in the first innings, going for a duck. But he survived, and he played with a dislocated finger. And that goes to show the mental fortitude of this Asian cricketer, and we wish him all the best moving forward. And it was a lot, and we can see the difference in the level of cricket, or the level of these higher test playing nations, to what we have seen with the West Indies. So I hope these guys, while they were off, they took the opportunity to sit back and relax and watch what some good test cricket is, and competitiveness at its highest.
Very well said indeed, Daryl. It sure was worth watching. Everybody, well, I shouldn't say everybody, a majority of the people thought that the game was going to play out a team draw, but it became very exciting in the last 2 days, especially. It should be said that it's the first time New Zealand have won a tournament of this stature, and we congratulate them once again. They have the bragging rights now, accompanied by
probably 2 years, yeah.
accompanied by the hefty first prize of 1.6 million US, and the runners-up India with 0.8 million US.
Along with the miss.
Along with the miss.
Just to touch on some other cricket news, the recently started series of England versus Sri Lanka. We can see that England is having a field day, going a 2-0 up in that series. Some pretty poor performances from a subpar Sri Lankan outfit, which is very young to international cricket. I think the likes of Kumar Sangakkara and Mahela Jayawardene should definitely go back to the drawing boards to instill some knowledge and advice into these youngsters. We see Johnny Bairstow coming back to the top of the order. We see Josh Butler had a good score in the 2 games that he played. Alongside, we see Sam Curran and Liam Dawson being given an opportunity to man the middle order of the English batting. And in the second game, we saw Sri Lanka had a tad bit of a fight left in them with the newly recruited TKR bowler in Isuru Dana having some good figures, as well as Hasaranga, who has been picked up in the CPL for the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots. So there's a lot of exciting cricket coming our way as a Caribbean people. And also, I don't know if we have to touch on shortly before we go, the Multan Sultans winning the PSL today. I don't know if you have scores from that, Darren?
Yes, the Multan Sultans scoring 206 for 4 in their 20 overs, with Shoaib Maksud scoring 65 not out, and Riley Russell 50. In the bowling, Shamin Gul took 2 for 26 and Mohammed Imran 2 for 47. Peshawar Zalmi in response, that has of course our 2 West Indians, Rovman Powell and Rutherford. They could only muster 159 for 9. Shoaib Malik scoring 48, Kamran Akmal 36, and Rovman Powell 23. Sultans winning by 47 runs. The player of the match as well as the series, Shoaib Maksud.
Indeed, I think that was a run fest today. I think sometimes in local terms you would refer to that Abu Dhabi ground as a 10 cent or a dime, because there's a lot of runs. 206 in a final with all the nerves and all that is dangling above you. That's a lot. I think Peshawar Zamni was on the back foot from the get-go. We did manage to have a West Indian on the winning side in Johnson Charles. He had a first ball duck, unfortunately. But he played a gem of an innings of 41 in getting his team to the final in the qualifier. So we say kudos to Johnson Charles. Let's see if he will be part and parcel of the West Indies setup moving forward. I think Shufin Rutherford is definitely one for the future. His long range hitting is amazing. He played a gem of an innings today, 18 off of 10 balls with 2 massive sixes. And I think the Pakistan Super League goes to show that our continuation does manage to run a successful tournament. So let's hope that the IPL can definitely follow in its footsteps. Not to feel the newly appointed Cricket West Indies, Darren Sammy is part of the Peshawar Zalmi. So let's hope that he brings a new aspect and a new something towards West Indies cricket. Who knows, he might put in a few words before the next test series and we will get some better results. As we continue to say, stay focused, stay tuned to the Midwicket Show as we go from strength to strength. Don't forget to follow us on IG and Facebook and adhere to safety protocols. And Darren, anything in closing for our viewers?
I just want the viewers, as they say, to continue liking and following our page. We have the page on Instagram as well as Facebook. So follow, share us, and let's see what the West Indies will come up with this weekend. Back-to-back encounters in the 2 T20 internationals versus South Africa being played in Grenada, both starting at 2 p.m. So until then,
don't be caught out.
Don't be caught out.